All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. I took a little vacation last week, but I'm back now and I'd like to start talking about Kotlin. All right, the plan is to talk about Kotlin in this particular video, and then starting in the next video to begin creating the Java Calculator program in Kotlin. After that, create the Java BMI program in Kotlin. After that, create the Java payroll program in Kotlin. So like I said, that is the plan. Now, you can do Kotlin in a lot of different ways. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't worry about this stuff. All right, let me just close it. But what I want to show you here, oops, I didn't want to do that. All right, what I want to show you, hopefully it'll come up with nothing now, is there is a whole bunch. So let me do a file here, and let's close this folder there. Okay, there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can load, and I've loaded a bunch of it already. So these are extensions. So if I come in here and I type in, for example, Java, it's going to give me a whole bunch of stuff. Code Runner, Java Platform extension for the Java language, VS Code, Java Debugger, etc. There's a whole bunch. But the ones that I'm interested in are going to be Java Kotlin. Let's see what's there. So there's language support for Java, Java Kotlin integration, not sure what that is, but let's install it anyway. Java plus Kotlin, language support for Java Kotlin, sure. Java to Kotlin converter, converts Java files to Kotlin with manual. Yeah, we might want to use that. I don't know. Sure. Java Kotlin implementation lens. Nah, I think we got enough. Now the other thing is something that's called Gradle, which we'll get into in a little bit. But you'll notice I've already gotten here Gradle for Java, and the extension pack for Java are already in here. All right, we've got Gradle language support. I don't know, sure. And we've got Gradle extension pack, sure. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, there's Gradle Kotlin. Let's do that one too. Now that's a JetBrains. Well, we'll look to it. That looks like enough to me. So the point is there's a lot of different stuff that you can install in here. Okay? All right. Now the other thing that I did, just to show you, was I said Kotlin compiler download for Windows, and again I'm using Windows 10. Yeah, this is an older machine. So there it is from kotlinlang.org. Now I've got it already, and to show you that I'm running both Java and Kotlin, all right, so let me clear this and let me type in here so you can see it. Java minus version, and you can see I'm running version 26.0. Okay, and Kotlin C for Kotlin compiler minus version. Oh, spelled it wrong. And it says I'm running 2.4.10. So the point is I have it. We have version numbers that printed out for both. If you do this and you get something that says command not found or something like that, that means either you haven't downloaded it or you haven't put it on your system's path. So one thing I had to do, all right, so I'm going to go here to edit system variables, environment variables, and go to path. All right, and edit, and I added these. So there's the Kotlin compiler, there is Gradle, and there's the JDK. Now notice I've got the JDK in there, and I've also added JDK 21. You might say, well, why did you do that when you're working with 26? Hopefully it'll become apparent a little bit later, okay? But I'll leave those there, so if you want to take a look at it, you're able to do so. There's everything. All right, so I'm going to click OK, and OK, and OK. All right. There's two ways that you can basically write and then run a Kotlin program, and probably it's worth going over how to do both. All right, let me get rid of this. The first way is it's a single file compilation. It's good when you're learning what to do here. You can write one .kt file. Kotlin files end with a .kt extension. You compile it directly with a Kotlin compiler and run it. There's no project structure that you need. All right. The second way of doing this, is to create a Gradle project. You create a proper project, you have a defined folder structure, and you end up with a build file that's going to manage what you need. The compile, the testing, the packaging, your dependencies, etc. This is how, basically all real Kotlin projects work. So we're going to try at least to go over both. So I'm going to come in here, and I've got this. I don't have any files right now, as you can see, but I'm going to create a folder. So I'm going to go to terminal, new terminal, there it is. In here, all right, I'm going to make dir let's call this Kotlin A, all right, because this is A of them. All right. Now, I think it's created it, but let's make sure. So let's do a CD to Kotlin A. And you can see down here, hopefully you can see this, that's where I am. All right. So let's type in code dot. What that just did is it opened that up in Visual Studio Code. Okay, I'll leave it here, that's fine. I don't need this welcome screen. All right, so this opens Visual Studio, and the folder that we just created, Kotlin A, is our workspace. All right. Now, Visual Studio, the Kotlin extension does work best when it has a folder and or workspace open, not just some file that's hanging around. So I'm going to come in here and create a new file. So file, new file. All right. And we're going to call this Hello World.kt. And yes, we want to put it in here. There it is. All right. Now, we're going to type this into it. Functions start with the word fun. Main. And we're just going to put print line. Hello world from Kotlin. Okay. We don't even need a semicolon at the end, but we do have to save what we're working on. So file, save. All right, so it's been saved. You notice there's some color codedness too. Fun is a key, for short for function. It's in red. Main special thing. It's in kind of purple. The curlies and the parens are both in blue in this case. All right. So let's go back to our terminal here. All right, we're in Kotlin A, as you can see, and we want to compile it. So I'm going to type in Kotlin C Hello World .kt minus include minus runtime space minus D for destination hello world .jar. Now, what is this doing? Okay. It says no source file. Source file directory not found. Hello world.kt. Well, it's right there. Oh, it's because I have a W in here. Hello. Can we do a rename? Yes, we can. Get rid of that out of there. Now there's a hello world.kt. Let's try that again. Now, what does this do? I want to show you what the command is. Let me grab the whole command. And let me bring it up in here. All right, so this is the command I just put in. The Kotlin Hello World-kt will compile the file. Maybe what you thought would happen. The minus include minus runtime is going to bundle the Kotlin library, runtime library, into the Java archive or jar file so it can run by itself. The minus D hello world.jar outputs a runnable jar file named hello.jar, which you can actually see right there. Now, the first time that you ever do this, it may take a while, all right? It may or may not, depends on your system. But after that, it should go fairly quickly. So now in here, I'm going to run Java minus jar hello world dot jar. And hopefully, again, you can see this. We get hello world from Kotlin. That's the entire cycle. We wrote the program, we compiled it, and we ran it. All right. So that's the first way of doing it, and that's pretty much the easy way of doing it. All right. So showed you that. Let me do this too as well. Get rid of the other one here that's open there. So I'm going to do a file, and I'm going to close this folder. Okay. Now, in case you are interested in it, I will try to save that later if I remember to do that. Okay. Now, the second way of doing this is to create a Gradle project. This is a real world type of situation. You create a project and you use a defined folder structure and a build file that manages your dependencies, your compiling, your testing, your packaging, etc. Again, I mentioned this earlier. This is how pretty much all real-world Kotlin projects are built. All right, so we're going to create a proper Gradle project. This is the setup you'll want to do for anything beyond what we just did. Because again, Gradle will handle basically everything for you. The compiling, the dependencies, the running with one command. All right. So let's come in here and let's do a new terminal. Okay, and we're going to do a make dir. We're going to say Java Kotlin Calculator. There it is, Java Kotlin Calculator. And then let's cd to Java Kotlin Calculator. Okay, it says it does not exist because I put Java instead of Java. There it is. All right. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to set up our folder structure. And to do that, you run a command called Gradle, G-R-A-D-L-E, init, Gradle init. So it says, please set the Java home variable in your environment to match the location of your system. The system cannot find the path specified. Please set your Java home variable in your environment to match the location of your Java installation. The system cannot find the path specified. Well, that isn't good. So let's see. Let's do this. How to set my Java home variable in Windows 10. Open the edit, etc. Create a new system variable called Java home and have it point directly to the Java installation folder. All right. I believe that mine, we're going to find out right now. So that's what I want, is I want it to point here. Because that is my JD key 21. 26, which we were using, has problems with Gradle. All right, so let's edit our system variables. Oh, it looks like Java home is right there. Don't know why it's doing that. Java home. I think that's where it was. There. Program files, Java JDK 21. So that's okay. 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 We'll leave that open in case we need it. All right. Now I may have to get out of this and get back in. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't like it right now. So let's bring this up again. So let's try doing here a CD to Java Kotlin Calculator. There we are. Now we'll take it. Okay, it says starting a Gradle daemon. That's good. All right, it says, what do you want to do in here? It says select the type of build to generate. We want an application, so that'll be a 1. Then it says select the language. Let's choose Kotlin because we're using Kotlin, so we'll put in a 2. Now it says enter the target version. The default is 21, which is what we're using. All right, the project name is Java Kotlin Calculator. All right. We want a single application project. says select the build script DSL. We want Kotlin. Select the test framework, again Kotlin. Says generate build using new APIs. This is, hopefully at least, is going to be building the framework that we need for us. All right? At least that's what I'm hoping it does. All right, I'm looking here, and I thought it would have given me some stuff in here, but it is not. So let's see. If I type in right here, dir, well, it's got a whole bunch of stuff that it's put in here for me. So let's do a file, open folder, desktop, this might not be on the desktop. We might have done it one thing higher. I don't know. Let's do this. We need this. So we need to be on the C drive. Should have been better, done a better job of seeing where I was. Users, GPSCO, Java Kotlin Calculator. All right, so you can see all the stuff that has been built now for us. All right. Let's take a look at, talk about quickly some of the stuff that's in there. I'm already at 22 minutes. I'm going to do this fairly. In fact, let's stop here now that we've got this created, and we'll continue on in the next video. Be back soon. Thanks. Keep that open. Let's close this.